Hello, I have decided to stay single in retirement. Why is that? Why have I made this decision? How long has it been? Have I always felt this way? Let's talk about it. I'm Barb, and this is my intentional retired life. I am going to give you a little bit of backstory just so that you can kind of get to know me. I wasn't always single. I was married for 23 years, and that marriage ended about 20 years ago. It was an abusive situation that I had to leave, and I have never looked back from that. My ex-husband was killed about 8 years ago on his property when he was cutting down a tree, and it went in the wrong direction, and he lost his life through that accident. So I am, I guess, officially a widow or an ex-widow or whatever you would call it. I don't know, but anyway, about a year and a half after that, the end of my marriage, I did date a gentleman for 2.5 years. It was a very happy relationship that we were in, and due to some heartbreaking circumstances, we had to stop that relationship. And so I guess some of it you could say that maybe I've been burned too many times, or I've had too much heartbreak in my life to want to be in a relationship again. But that's not really the case. I don't hate men. I love men. And I have always desired to have a happy relationship with a man. And I just haven't had a lot of luck in love in life for one reason or another. And, it takes two to make a relationship work. And I realize that. So I'm not guiltless in everything that transpired in my life by any stretch, but it is what it is. And I have had, I was lucky enough to have two beautiful children through that marriage, and they're the best thing that ever happened to me. So in that regard, I am very blessed, and, blessed to be a grandmother and all of that. So, that's all good. And so, I have regrets, of course, just like anyone else does. But anyway, so that's just a little bit of my backstory. But what is it that has brought me to this realization now in my retirement? And I'll just mention a few things that have got to do with me personally and the type of person that I am, and why the single life actually appeals to me now and in my older years. And then I do want to also just touch a little bit on the expectations that men have these days, and especially as we age. So anyway, I guess part of the thing is that I am an introvert by nature. And so, I don't need people around me in order to be healthy. As a matter of fact, it's the opposite. I actually need to have time by myself in order to stay healthy. And I guess as I age, that just seems to be getting to be more and more the case. I don't like to go out a lot. I don't like to be, I'm not a big traveler. I'm not somebody who, feels the need to be around people all the time. And I do have a core set of friends, of girlfriends that I really enjoy their company, and we go out for a meal once in a while, and, I attend church and all of that. So, I do have, interaction with the outside world. I also have a foot care business for seniors. And so I get lots of interaction with my clients. And so it's not something that I feel like I'm isolating myself in any way. And so that in that way, it just suits my personality. I do like to have my own finances. Part of the abuse in my marriage was that my ex-husband was financially abusive to me as well as emotionally abusive. So the fact that I have my own finances and I don't have to answer to anyone is a big plus for me. And it just has given me a sense of being self-reliant and in control of my money and how it's spent, and, everything. So that is a big thing. Also, dictates my time. Like I said, I like to be on my own. I like to be at home. I'm a homebody. And so I get to choose when I go out, when I don't, what I want to be a part of and what I don't. So that's been a big, big thing for me as well. And I just love my life. I love, everything about my life. So why would I want to introduce something else into my life that would just add complexity to it that I don't have presently? Yeah, I'm not stress free by any stretch, but in the relationship area, I guess you could say I'm stress free. So there's that as well. I have been on my own now for so long and I am so set in my ways. I'm 66 years old, and I just we have our little habits, and we have the same breakfast every morning. We know what we like to do and what we like to watch, and you get a little bit more and more set in your ways as you age, and so it's something that I get to watch what I want. I have control of my own remote control or whatever. So I really enjoy my time alone. I don't have any issues with that. So I just wanted to touch a little bit on the expectations of men as we age. And because I have noticed, I mean, it's not like I didn't, I wasn't under a rock for all these years. I did try the online dating scene after the relationship with that gentleman broke up, and I was so brokenhearted over that. And so I did try to replace what I had with him through online dating. That was an absolute disaster. And I am going to do a follow-up video after this one in the next couple of days, just talking about those experiences that I had with online dating, because they were unbelievable. Never again, ever. I can laugh now, but at the time it was just, oh man, honestly. But anyway, what I have noticed is that older men these days, first of all, they're looking for someone much younger than themselves. And so that is an issue, because then that makes my dating pool that much smaller. I'm 66. So if somebody is my age and they're looking for someone who's 46 or even 50 or whatever, I'm out of that league. I'm not there. I am, reaching my golden years here. So then that means that the people that would be interested in me are going to be considerably older than I am. And that comes with another whole set of issues that you have to deal with. So there's health issues on both sides. There's two homes. There's just so much that you have to think about if you start to get into a serious relationship as you age and get older and older. So I'm just not prepared to do that. I'm not prepared to go there. I feel very, very strongly that my children deserve their inheritance. And, I have a home of my own, and I want I want the proceeds from that home to go to my children, or else to my needs as I age. And, everyone says you can get a prenup, whatever, blah, blah, blah. If you die and your, now spouse is living in your home, let's say it's your home that you moved into together, and that person is now living in your home, what do your children do? Do they have to kick that person out? I mean, it's just complicated. It's so complicated. Another thing I've noticed is that often men that are my age or older are widowers. And, it's problematic, because I'm never going to be their dead wife. I don't cook like them. I don't talk like them. I don't act like them. I'm not them. And, often they have it in their minds that they're going to replace their wife with someone who is just like her. And I am my own person. And that's the end of it. I can't be replacing somebody. And, especially a marriage that has been, 50 years or 40 years or whatever long. And all of a sudden I come on the picture and I'm expected to be like that person. Where do I go? I disappear in that situation. I become someone I'm not. I'm not prepared to do that. Also, too, I find that a lot of times men are really looking for someone to take care of them. They want someone that can cook for them, that can clean the house, that can do their laundry, and all those things. And I don't feel like after 66 years, I want to be a maid. Now, with that said, I do live in a house, and I have a yard, and I have a sidewalk, and I live in a northern climate. So it is up to me to do the yard work. It's up to me to shovel the snow. And certainly it would be wonderful to have somebody to help with those things, but that's not the basis of a good relationship. So on either end of the spectrum, whether it's, the man wanting someone to cook and clean for them, or whether it's a woman wanting someone to do the heavy lifting, that's not a reason to be together in old age. If you're going to be with someone in old age, it's supposed to be you grow old together, and you've been together for many years, and you complement each other perfectly. You're like a hand in a glove. I unfortunately never had that with my husband. And of course, that's never going to be my reality. But I'm okay with that. I've come to terms with that. There was a time after my marriage ended that I really wanted to get married again. I really did, and I really wanted a man in my life. Now, as the years have rolled on, it's just not important to me anymore. It just isn't. Another thing I've noticed is that a lot of men want women to look a certain way. They want us to be, slim. They want us to have long hair. Listen, guys, when women get to be in their 60s and 70s, long hair doesn't look good on everybody anymore, especially if it's thinning, right? It just ends up you look like a scraggly witch. I'm not interested in trying to please a man by growing my thin hair. And call me selfish. I don't care. It's not going to happen. And let's just be real here. It's, I like I say, I love men. I have some great relationships and friendships with men, but I don't want to marry one. I don't want to be in a relationship with one. I would like a companion. I would like someone that I'd be able to go to a movie with, go out for dinner with, have some laughs, talk on the phone, whatever. But he could live at his house and I could live at my house. That's kind of where I'm at. So anyway, this is just going to be a short video today. Like I said, I do plan on making a video very soon about my dating disasters online. Just wait for that one because it's going to be a good one. Okay. Thanks so much for joining me today. We'll talk to you again. Bye-bye.